Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a BlazeCasting presentation. I'm your host, Blaze Inferno, bringing you a co-cast game between Mouse and PotM Bottom.
And I'm channeling.
And channeling is going to be co-casting with me for this game here. It's part of the Defense 2 tournament, and it's the first game of a best of 3, part of the knockout stages there. Have everybody loaded in, and we'll be jumping in the draft in a very short time period. And both of these teams are very, very advanced in their playstyles. PotM Bottom, the American team, just cruising through the tournament. It's kind of surprising a lot of people. They came from Han originally, a lot of their players at least, and then Mouzesports, the German slash all over Europe team, performing extremely well as well at the same time.
Definitely, it's always good to see players from not only Dota 1 but LoL and Han, seeing how they do in the Dota 2 competitive side. Seeing them hopefully pick up sponsors like a lot of the other Han teams have, such as Complexity.
Definitely. As they move kind of more into kind of maturing in the Dota 2 competitive scene, esports is going to get really awesome. These teams being able to pick up some definite salary, being able to really focus on training and improving their playstyle overall, kind of synergizing with the team as a whole, and that'll really shape it up. As far as draft goes, we're starting off with PotM Bottom getting the first first pick as Dire Team. They're starting off with a Nature's Prophet, and Mouzesports answering back with the Naga Siren ban. Pretty much with these negate the Nature's Prophet, obviously having a lot of global presence. He not only ganks really fast and furiously early game, but he also can do a lot of backdoor and pushing and stuff that they just want to shut down and not have to worry about. Same with the Naga Siren pickup is very frustrating with her ultimate, disabling a lot of heroes and setting up very, very powerhouse ultimates to follow up with her. And also she can carry pretty substantially by herself alone.
Yeah, essentially she is, the ungankable carry. If you just ulti, TP, if things get hectic, she's always got the escape. She's got the amazing initiation for AoE based ultimates as well, such as the Black Hole, the Tide Hunter, if timed perfectly, which you'd expect from teams of this caliber.
Absolutely, and they just worried that Ali 2000 has picked that up a couple times, and they just don't want to deal with that, especially the Siren Tide Hunter combo, kind of classic, just AoE team fight rape. So that's going to be very high pressure that they are taking right off the board. Leshrac and Invoker Band, just two very high-tier casters that provide a lot of pressure. Leshrac, especially with his pushing, with his Diabolic Edict, and Invoker with his just spell spamminess and having very, very high potential with higher levels as his experience goes on. Legend Band also coming out, another one of those backdoor pusher heroes. Frustrating to deal with, and they don't want to build a lineup of people who just have to teleport back to deal with stupid nuisances like that. They want to fight. PotM Bottom likes to go not only do well in the lanes, but move into a very powerful mid game, grouping up together, and they don't want to have to break up their lineup just to deal with something like a backdoor pusher.
Yeah, definitely. It's obvious with these PotM Bottom bands that they want nothing to do with push and early gold from the towers.
Absolutely. So that might be indicating that AoE 2000 looking at picking up a harder carry, maybe looking at like a Faceless Void or some endgame there, or he could just go with the standard stuff like Broodmother and other things along those lines.
Yeah, it does look like PotM Bottom want to take it to the end game. Void Lich combo is really nice, although I'm not sure we're going to see Lich this game. It could be because they're taking out all the pushes, though. We'll have to find out.
Yeah, definitely. He kind of has an interesting balance where he's not that great of an counter pusher, but he's amazing lane sustainability, not only denying the experience from the opposition, but also applying a lot of pressure with his nukes and supportive in that fashion. Very good harasser and babysitter, so that can set up Faces Void or really any carry. Chaos Knight would be also a really good pickup that is still available on the board as well.
Yeah, definitely. Another thing with Lich and Leshrac is that they can play more than one role. They're very flexible in how they can be played. We'll have to see. Darkseer. Great for offlane. Not really seen in the jungle, more of the suicide lane, cutting the lanes, being an annoyance really. If he's left untouched, he can he'll get every CS he can with Iron Shell. Fast items like a pipe. Fast anything really.
Absolutely. Yeah, either probably Tides of Time or Sneaking, probably going to pick up the DS, but just a lot of potential with that, not only with a very aggravating Ion Shell in the early game phase of the game, but moving on into a mid-game, he has a lot of potential with that Vacuum and the Wall of Replica combo, setting up major AoE Magic Team Fight ultimates, as well as putting a lot of physical damage out with those illusions. Now, to answer back, Mouzesports has drafted a Tinker and a Rubik, just very powerful, especially going into mid-game, just very powerful nukers, and can do a lot along with the Rubik spell steal. Pretty much turn any of the spells that the Bottom Bomb's capable of casting right back at them, and kind of negate what benefits they receive from either an Enigma or a Tide or things along those lines, as well as the farming potential for Tinker, scaling really well into late game with items like Sheepsticks and Shivas.
Definitely. Another thing with the Tinker pickup is it's also a pseudo ban because PotM Bottom doesn't get that hero, which he definitely loves to play.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is awesome at it. Also, the Aoi 2000 Lone Druid, that's, you know, hero player combination that's been doing very well recently.
Absolutely, if you can get that early game farm and just kind of start steamrolling, whether he's in a lane in a 1v2 situation, which is effectively 2v2 if you consider how much damage and tank the barrier really brings to the table, he really can do a lot with that. Now I'm curious how they're going to lane it, because in my mind they practically have 3 solo lane heroes. I mean, again, the Darkseer can jungle. The, what do you call it, smoke jungling did get nerfed prior to this, so it's not the most beneficial thing, but it is still an option overall for getting some early game farm and distributing that experience nicely. Or we could see possibly support Shadow Shaman going and laning with whoever to kind of set up kills more effectively.
At the moment, with the Lone Druid and the Shadow Shaman pick, these picks are so strong considering how many pushes have been banned out already. The pushes that they can pick up are so the worth is sevenfold because the other pushes are already out of the game. I think we're going to see a way too sexy Shadow Shaman. He plays the hero very, very well. I'd say Fogt would get another hero for mid.
Okay, sounds good, definitely. Along those lines, yeah, with those mass serpent wards, along with the damage the bear can do out with the rank 4, has a demolish passive and just wreaks havoc on those towers, can do a lot of pressure. And the fact that Tinker and Morphling have both been picked up and they don't really hit their stride until later on in the mid game and late game, really the push aspect of both Shadow Shaman and Lone Druid is going to become more and more relevant as the minutes go by, because really they're going to have to focus on pushing down towers, taking those quick, and just getting that, building up that gold advantage so that they can win team fights and really shut down the potential of those late game heroes.
Definitely. Tides of Time Enchantress banned out by his own leader. That's funny. Tides of Time is an amazing Enchantress.
Yeah, it might be indicating that they're looking for a Chen pickup, though. Along those lines, they do have the first pick available coming out of these bans, and if that Enchantress is banned and the Chen is not, you can pick up the Chen without getting a single counter to that. But the Chen does get banned.
They saw it coming.
The question is, did they open up a window for them to pick up a different hero that they were afraid would get banned? Sorry. I mean, Shadow Demon is a great hero on the board. I'm not sure how it would fit into their lineup exactly, but very good for lane control and things along those lines. Like we said, could go for another carry along with it. I've seen Lone Druid and Chaos Knight picked up on PotM Bottom, and they did extremely well with that. So could see like a Chaos Knight and a Lich, or I mean, there's just so many different things they could add to their lineup right now.
Definitely. Also, with the Rubik and Morphling being on the same team, it's also a pseudo ban in the fact that the other team won't get the hero. If you get a Rubik that steals Morph, his role can change almost instantly. He can be a tank almost. I mean, among other things, really. Perfect initiation with the amount of health he could have stolen from the Morphling, but it makes the Morphling pick so much more safer knowing that Rubik will be on your side.
Fair enough. I see your logic there, definitely along those lines. And then actually Quap going to pick it up. Fogged possibly going to be running that. Just a really powerful solo mid player. and can definitely take advantage of her mobility and her powerful magic burst. Interesting pickup against the Morphling specifically. I would say that without any disables, no silences or anything, I know the Death Prophet got banned, but overall, she doesn't do that much to take down a Morphling really quickly unless she's going to pop her Scream and her ultimate on him in every single occasion. But on the other hand, she is amazing at dealing with the Tinker, dropping him down really quickly. She doesn't rely on auto attacks really in any major facet, so overall she can put a lot of pressure out on the low HP tanker and make him think twice before he starts teleporting all over the map.
Yeah, it is interesting to see the Queen of Pain with the Rubik on the other team because of his Nullfield passive, but and you're also right, they are somewhat lacking on the stuns for the CC for the Morphling. CC is very important to take down a Morphling who's maxing his waveform and his morph.
Yeah.
He almost becomes unkillable if you have the mana regen.
Yeah, I'm almost worried that they don't have enough stun. If they might be looking at picking up a Strength Initiator alongside Darkseer. I mean, I know the Darkseer is really good at it, but they need some powerful stun. Maybe a Beastmaster. Earthshaker did get taken, but still Tide and Sand King available on the field as well.
Yes, Sand King is... Ooh. Sand King is a very important pick. I'd say PotM Bottom might be looking for it, but Earthshaker was a good pick as well. That was a really nice pickup by Mouz. Not allowing me to get it at that stage.
Yeah, the Darkseer Earthshaker combo is really, really destructive, so being able to take that off the board, very important. But, I mean, obviously there's still plenty of Strength Initiators out there. They just need to figure out if that's what they want to go with. Obviously they've got a good Agi carry that can scale with those 12 item slots and go well towards the late game, but that's not what the team they're building. They're definitely building towards a team that can put pressure out hard and fast, win towers, win fights, and stop it from reaching the 40 minutes without at least one set of racks down.
Definitely. I'd say that PotM Bottom would be looking for someone to go... Oh, I was going to say with the Lone Druid Shadow Shaman, seeing the Darkseer off lane, but Windrunner could also be a suicide lane hero.
Yeah, definitely.
Their draft is very open with what they can do at the moment. A lot of options which will throw Mouz off.
I mean, literally they have 3 heroes that could suicide lane if they wanted to, and I guess technically 5 heroes who could solo mid if they wanted to. To that extent. I mean,
Yeah.
most likely with this much solo presence, I almost guarantee the Darkseer is going to be in the jungle. Yes, it seems unorthodox, but he can do it, and splitting that experience is going to be really important.
Oh, Mirana.
Now I haven't seen him running a lot recently, but overall, the arrows can become such a deciding factor, and Bambo is just amazing at landing those when he needs to, especially when you can just get those perfect sweet spot arrows that go just barely out of line of sight until they're right in your face, and that can drop down somebody considerably.
Another thing this Mirana does, which jumps out at me, is not only can she protect a Morphling that's being ganked with her ultimate, but Rubik can chuck a hero up, and that'll set up an easy arrow for the Mirana.
Very true, very true. And kind of just throw it right in the path, and that can cause a lot of grief. Also, these powerful stuns, Telekinesis, Fissure, the Mirana arrow, etc. It's one thing is Darkseer, obviously, is extremely good against heroes that slow, Viper, or even Crystal Maidens Nova, Venomancer, that kind of thing. His Surge just goes right through that, zips on through. But with all these stuns, they're really the hard stuns in the sense that he's not going to be able to just avoid those through that one spell. They're still going to be able to lock people down very considerably, no matter how many buffs he starts throwing on people.
Definitely. I'm wondering if we're going to see Bear and perhaps Darkseer going on the suicide lane. Snaking likes using Aui's Bear to pull the lane to make his suicide easier. Tides of Time Windrunner, that suggests to me second support.
Sure enough. Now, as far as a supportive set on the Mouzesports team, it almost seems like it's all Earthshaker's role in this sense. The Rubik is picked up by Sing Sing, who generally prefers that solo mid role. It will enable Come With Me to farm on the Tinker, presumably on the bottom lane, but that is going to put Morphling in a tough spot, and overall, I honestly think Sing Sing would be better off playing for a supportive role. It's generally not how he likes to play. He likes to play aggressively, but in this sense, the way they've drafted it, Come With Me and Black both are going to need that farm on the Tinkler and Morphling respectively. So I feel that 1437 should probably be covering the Tinker, Mirana soloing, and maybe just do a straight 2-1-2.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Mouz lane this. I'm thinking perhaps Mirana suicide I don't really know how I feel about Mirana Suicide because the leap has such a long cooldown, and it's really hard to stay on the lane with such a long CD on the escape mechanism.
Yeah, unless they want, Mouzesports wants to run an aggressive trial lane where they could have Bamboo on the bottom lane, 1v1ing against the Windrunner presumably, and then have 1437 Sing Sing and I guess the Morphling would be going on the top lane looking for some kills, looking for some easy quick farm, and could even frustrate the Darkseer in the jungle if they so choose. And that would leave Tinker relatively free on the middle lane, not too threatened by the gank action when they're putting so much pressure on the top.
Definitely. Another thing with Earthshaker and Rubik is they are great roamers. But Queen of Pain does have a nice escape mechanism if she chooses to take up mid, so the ganks on mid lane might be a bit futile. They might want to, instead of roaming, just stick to one lane, perhaps dry lane.
Indeed. But it looks like Black is going for bottom, has a lot of stats, has a lot of potential to farm up, and just has plenty of regen to sustain in the lane as well. So the real question is if they're going to... It looks like we might be looking for the Mirana top lane. She does have the wards put in position so that she can cover herself for ganks. Overall, Mirana would be, in that case, soloing the long lane, and it would probably be Tinker in the middle lane, as far as I'm seeing it, because he is looking for a fast bottle.
Yes, I'd say it would definitely be Tinker versus Quap mid lane. Fogged on the Quap is, I must say, he plays an amazing mid, but Fogged Quap is very, very strong. With me, Tinker, I must say I haven't really seen much of his Tinker.
Yeah, not too much. He overall is just not his general playstyle. Of course, all these players are very skilled. They're capable of playing whatever hero they so choose. But overall, he definitely plays those kind of generally semi-supportive, probably number 4 role as a more common estimate.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like also our 2000 Spear has not gone bottom. So that suggests, well, Suicide, well, not so much Suicide, but safe lane solo Solar Bear.
No, it seems like that would be correct, but the question is Fogged and Tides of Tom. I'm guessing Tides is going to rotate towards the bottom lane and be running a Darkseer Windrunner lane, going up against the Morphling and the Rubik.
True.
But that leaves Earthshaker very free to roam right now. He can come in behind very effectively. As far as the ward situation goes, there's a Sentry Ward. Dire is really well covered in that bottom rune spawn, and that way they will be able to detect that Earthshaker if he does decide to go towards the bottom lane. But right now he is headed towards the top and moving towards to support Bambo up against the Shadow Shaman and the Lone Druid. So generally speaking, Lone Druid is well set off enough to solo by himself, but they feel they will be that Mouse will be trying to pressure Aoi off the lane. In that case, they need some stack pull action from Shadow Shaman to keep him well covered. But now they're actually going some action on him, got the Fisher going off already, and just kind of doing some long range harass, getting that mana flow going, and saying, hey, we're here, and we're here to take your lane.
I must say, the Earthshaker on top is very much needed for this Mirana. Mirana in a suicide lane is not that great, really, because of the long CD on the lip. So the Earthshaker long range stun is very effective.
Definitely. Along those lines, because he knows he's going to be up against a lot of pressure, he's not going to be able to free farm. He's going to actually be opting for the Orb of Venom to get some extra harass in every time he strikes with his bear.
Yeah, definitely. Black has some nice support on the bot lane from Sing Sing. I'm not sure that the Darkseer and Windrunner can do much against them, really.
Yeah, overall, I mean, Darkseer obviously scaling really well as he gets his levels, but he's going to be at equal levels to Black, who's going to be farming very nicely. He's already level 3, actually, and is going to be able to do some very high-powered waveforms and things along those lines. He did also bring plenty of regen to the lane. I'm actually not even sure if that was all his, because it seemed like it was quite a bit with that salve and double tango for the stats he was running.
Yeah, the Darkseer in a dual lane really hinders his ability to, get the levels on Iron Shadow, which is the most devastating thing in the early game. It's if you're standing next to a hero with a high level Iron Shadow, it's pretty much more than Radiance damage.
Yeah, effectively. And actually, Fog getting a little bit zoned off of the middle lane. Come With Me doing really well. He popped the salve, but the rockets come out in immediate response, taking that right back off, and she's going to have to... Oh, wait, Fog actually going aggressively. Now, Come With Me doesn't have much. Oh, he could have gotten the courier if he was just got a little bit more on the auto attack, but does force Come With Me to waste one bottle charge. And now it's going to be the question of the rune control for the next one. Is spawn bottom regeneration? Quap knows it with that rune control, and he's going to be opting for it now that Fogged has his bottle available, which gives him the lane effectively against this Tinker.
This regeneration rune is massive. It'll give Queen of Pain a massive advantage over the Tinker. The ability for Queen of Pain to spam her Scream is just so good for lane control and harassment. Tinker, if he had got that regeneration rune, would have been massive for him as well, but the fact is he didn't.
Yeah, and that's all due to the sports for PotM Bottom covering the runes really well. Actually, he's already getting Shadow Striked, and he's just going to have a harder and harder time as she starts continuing to harass him with her, I wouldn't say unlimited mana pool, but definitely well set off for the next couple of minutes.
Definitely. No kills as such yet. Big harassment. Lots of action on this top lane. Looks like a bit of an initiation there. Leaped away. Long cooldown on that leap though. If that happens again, I don't see her chances of survival being very high. She's only got one more pot left, and that's it for her consumables.
Absolutely, and Shadow Shaman ranking up has 1 rank in Shackles, 2.5 second duration, but if the Earthshaker can fisher it out, all they need to worry about then is just the Entangle proc coming from the rank 3 bear. And right now, the Orb of Venom without boots isn't going to be too much to harass, but yeah, she does have to watch that cooldown and make sure that she's not caught out in that spot again. And the rune goes again to Fogged, spawning on the bottom lane, well controlled by him with that rank 1 blink, and just going to keep on filling up that bottle, pushing Digger off the lane, and he's not going to be able to sustain for very much longer at all. And actually did miss first blood on the top lane against actually the Earthshaker.
Earthshaker, yeah, got caught out by a very nice shackle shot. Shackle, sorry. They did attempt to go on the Shadow Shaman earlier, but then it just got turned around.
Bottom lane, Sing getting knocked out by Fog, doing so much damage, that double damage rune ganking very effectively, diving on the tower, and actually going for Morphling still, and he's going to be able to disjoint and auto attack from the tower, and should be able to survive. No way! Wow, the Strength Morph was just enough, and Fogged actually not blinking light to the east like I figured he would to stop a couple auto attacks. Actually a little bit of blunder because he did lose his life to the Morphling, which gives Black all the more farm, and is really clutch as far as the amount of experience he just got from that too.
Yeah, feeding the enemy carry is never a good idea. But that's the strength of the Morph on Morphling. He's so ungankable if you don't have the proper stun CCs.
And now Fog is doing a lot worse in lane overall. He TP'd back to mid, and now Come With Me with the Bottle Crow is actually able to trade heads with him once more. Though he is actually pretty equal in level overall, but now they're back and forth, and he's doing actually a lot of burst damage. Ranked that laser, did not expect that. He actually went for a laser rocket build where he maxed out his laser pretty hardcore, and he's got the most experience in the game right now at level 7. That's going to be putting a lot of pressure out, and the next time he tries that combo on her.
Yeah, Come With Me realizes that Fogged is a bit unfarmed at the moment, so he instantly puts the pressure on.
Now the question is on the runes did spawn bottom, Haste Rune being covered up by the Windrunner Tides of Time, and Fogged is going for that rune as fast as possible. Now it looks like a Soul Ring, and Ring of Protection is going for Tides of Time, I believe, and we'll see how that goes. No, actually sneaking, getting both of those. So is he going to be looking for a Basilius, or no, Tranquil Boot? Tranquil Boot Soul Ring is definitely what he's going to be opting for there, and just putting out a little bit more pressure with that Ion Shell going on the Creep Wave.
Yeah, and as we see, Earthshaker has rotated from the top lane, leaving Mirana by herself, and Aoi also by himself, leaving the Shadow Shaman to just pull lanes.
Now, unfortunately, Sexy Bamboo is actually out of regeneration. His bottle's empty. Courier's a long way away, and overall he doesn't have any more tangles or salves available. That's going to be very difficult for him. Queen of Pain looking for bottom. With that Haste Rune, just jumping on it real quick, sneaking actually really low. Waveform going across on him. Nice Fisher from 1437. He's trying to juke behind the trees. Needs one more auto attack from Black too. There we go. And he drops down, but Fog with that Haste Rune says, "Hello, Morphling. How's half your life?" And he finishes him off really quickly, kind of ending that spree very prematurely there. Now doing a lot of pressure, just the fact that he has the Haste Rune, can go out on 1437. Actually, surprised he didn't turn around to take off that clarity. Probably didn't see it in time, and knows that he is in enemy territory, has to watch himself very carefully.
Top lane diving.
Oh wow, yeah, I just saw that there.
That's the strength of an Orb of Venom on the Syllabear's pet.
Yeah, the big deal there, especially the phase boots, giving them that much more mobility and being able to dive on the tower pretty much, even with a rank 1 leap, not going to be able to escape from phase boots on that bear when you don't have anything more than regular boots yourself.
Nowhere near enough. Level 1 leap is great and all, if you weren't versing a Syllabear.
Actually, come with me, getting just enough burst combo with his laser and his heat-seeking missile, running at, well, he was at level 7, and running 3-4 in that, getting both of them on him, and Fog just playing a little bit too close to chest, and his HP gets bursted down there, which is a major victory for Come With Me, getting the double damage rune immediately following.
Yeah, definitely.
There's actually a Windrunner coming to support the lane now.
Yeah, Queen of Pain needs it. She doesn't even have boots. I mean, around 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes is a good time to have bottled boots finished, and I'm afraid he only has brown booties at the moment.
Definitely. And Darkseer sneaking, knows he can kind of play aggressively. Overall, he does have that haste available with Sing Sing and getting nice telekinesis off coming in with a Fisher from behind. There's actually nowhere for him to go whatsoever. Nice Fisher is going to have to offer the Northwest, but so much damage coming out from Black, going to fish him off. Now action going on up top lane, Come With Me trying to find it, but the creeps do see him, mistimes that a little bit, and aggroes a range creep away, which is not what he wants to see with the bear, with rank 4, with the phase boots going for her, but she jumps over with the leap. Good timing with that. Now Tides of Time looking for a shackle potential, lines it up on the tree, but there's nobody to really follow it up. Here comes Fog trying to do some action. Arrow goes wide, and rockets go on both of them, disjointed by the blink there. But now Owie has this window to attack this tower and just burn it down real quick. Fortify is available, but overall, there it does pop really quickly. Serpent Wards will not be popped yet. They do have, he is not level 6 yet, sitting at 5.5, doing some really good stacking and pulling, and trying to get that without leeching too much from the Syllabear himself.
That range creep was so unfortunate for Come With Me. He took a lot of time out of farming for his Boots of Travel to help set up a gank on Owie, which was a much needed gank. Oh, arrow on top lane. No follow up though. It's just too powerful, Syllabear in ultimate form. Too much health.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the Dire do finish up killing the tower. No last hit on it, but not too big a deal. Tower's the tower, and they are winning on kills, or tied on kills, so with the tower advantage, that's going to put them in right where they want to be.
Yeah, definitely. Syllabear has an amazing ability to farm the jungle as well, so even though that tower has been taken out and the lane isn't as safe to farm, he can still get just as many creeps in the jungle.
Absolutely. Now, I'm curious what he's going to be opting for. He does have that Ring of Protection. Honestly, not sure what he would be using that for.
Could be, I'd say Vladimir's Offering, but I'm really not so sure.
He's got a couple gloves of haste. He's going to be going for his Maelstrom build and picking that up, possibly alongside a Midas, which is a little bit late for a Midas, looking at 10.5 minutes. So I'm not sure if he might be going Treads for himself and Tranquil Boot. No, because he already has the Tranquil Boots. I'm not exactly sure what he is building into that, but we will see in no time at all. Owie 2000 kind of has these unique little builds where he like on Broodmother, you generally don't see Manta style, but he loves that for the mobility and just the pressure he can put on towers. But overall, he is going to be cooking up something. No time at all. We'll just see what he does opt for.
Come With Me only just survived a gank between Shadow Shaman and Fog on the co-op mid lane.
Bottom lane, actually. Tides of Time, yeah, gets dropped down just enough damage from Sing Sing's Fade Bolt along with the Telekinesis. Now Morph comes out, Morph just keeps on morphing up, 3 seconds left on his waveform, but he's not going to go for it. Not that deep anyways, even though he does have 11 charges available. He knows that support is coming in from Fog and from way 2 on the Shadow Shaman.
And yep, Morphling just replicates, TP's back, gonna come back into the lane with full HP.
Absolutely, and that'll allow him to support the tower. And wow, huge burst coming out on Queen of Pain, combining Sing Sing's abilities with the Tinker, just dropping him down really quickly. Looking for an arrow, but not going to happen.
Ooh, the Replicate was actually killed in that engagement.
Really, so that does shut down the back's opportunity to jump towards the bottom lane, but he's just going to be actually looking towards the middle lane, looking to farm from there. Owie happy to farm up on the top lane.
Yep, and Owie's just safe and sound, farming this top lane. Really no threat to him because he's got so much health. Nothing that the Radiant can do can really stop his farm at the moment.
Definitely. It looks like he's going for Basilius more so for a split push build than anything, allowing those creeps to tank up a little bit more so with that armor. Now, interesting on bottom lane was Windrunner denying the bottom regeneration room before Tinker could pick it up, forcing him to kind of sit at really low mana. He doesn't even have enough for his combo, so Fogged is going to be a lot safer for that, and just providing that kind of support for the rune control is really, really important. Those just little things really shape how much Tinker can dominate. But on top lane, Lone Druid was able to pick off the tower before the stuns were able to come out, and that means another huge chunk of gold coming out for PotM Bottom.
Mirana did attempt to deny the tower, but Syllabear has so much damage between himself and his bear and his battle cry that it just wasn't enough.
Ward's going down bottom tower. Just want to secure that real quick. Fortify isn't available, so some may claim that is a little bit overkill. I kind of think so myself, but they just want to make sure they got yet another one that's 3-tower advantage for them, and that's really important there. But in middle lane, Quap just kind of having to bounce back and forth with her blink, make sure she is not too far under pressure, with Tinker now having his combo available. But just harassing Fog a little bit as he goes along. And now he is very close to his travels.
Yeah, very, very close. Queen of Pain just picking up her boots now. That's not very good for the Queen of Pain mid. Only, 300 gold per minute. She has recovered pretty decently.
Yeah, I mean, she's at 49 CS, so it's not the worst in the world, but she could be doing a lot better, especially Fog playing Queen of Pain. Usually just really dominates the lane very well, but Come With Me, surprisingly, doing very well with a little bit of gank action. Actually, Sing Sing jumping in really quickly with the Queen of Pain's blink, using against her, and now they're trying to do a lot of pressure, but the Fisher is going to try to block him in. And he does have that Echo Slam available, but he needs to get on top of wave 2, which is not going to happen. Now, Sing Sing going in to finish him off with the Fade Bolt and the Blink, but now drops himself. And Come With Me not able to finish it off until 8 seconds when the Rockets come, which will be indeed too late. So he's going to be falling back.
Amazing Shackle Shot by Tides of Time that was instantly countered by 1437 Fissure, and it just stopped all aggression that was possible from PB.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Snake King getting a haste rune.
Not really. Too clutch, just kind of denying it from Come With Me more than anything else, I think.
Yeah. Not really much opportunity at the moment to use that haste rune, so definitely just denying it is the better option.
Now, those travels are available for Tinker. He will be able to have some global presence port wherever he needs to and be able to refresh that back at base whenever he decides to rearm. Along with, he actually doesn't have the Soul Ring, so the rearm will cost quite a bit of mana there along with that. But overall, it will. One thing to note is that he doesn't have ranks in Merchant Machines. He has rank 1 Merchant Machines. He is burning down and farming heroes, but my point was that he's not going to be farming creeps specifically, in the sense that he will have to get ranks in that before he's pushing out the lanes and providing the presence that he usually does all across the board.
Yeah. I assumed that the build was planned though, because there are no stacks in their jungle. So I'm pretty sure this was a planned build from Mouse Team.
Yeah, definitely knew that they needed some extra oomph to their team fight early on, and overall providing that extremely well with the rocket laser build. Overall, I wouldn't say there's that much that auto attacks. I don't think the blind is the key thing there. I think overall it's really just the burst damage that they can drop down on Queen of Pain or whoever alongside Rubik with his Fade Bolt, which does a very considerable amount of damage in of itself.
Yeah, and these Boots of Travel are already being put to use. He's just got free reign to farm these lanes.
Yeah, Queen of Pain looking for top room, but it does not spawn there. It does spawn on the bottom, and Tides of Time going to cover it up, double damage available, and Come With Me just trying to do some pressure with that laser. Fog says none of that. Bottles up, and he's going to be picking that up in no time at all. Chicken actually comes on to Come With Me. Now they're going to go in some retaliation, but the slow does not come. No Shadow Strike from Fogged, and he's going to get away safely with a little bit of harass from that long range. Now he actually does get a telekinesis onto Way Too Sexy, but he has enough HP, has enough wand charges. But coming in from behind, Aoi 2000 going onto the tower, looking for Sing Sing, and he has no wave. Oh, he does have the Queen of Pain blink, and he is able to escape, and now they're going to be looking at the middle tower with the Serpent Wards and the Bear.
Yeah, Aoi 2000 was putting so much pressure on that solo Mirana that it forced Earthshaker to go and help, and then rotated mid for the tower. Double damaged Fogged. Not able to make much of a use other than the tower. Bit of a waste, I'd say.
Yeah, overall. But Bottom is playing this well as far as the towers go. They are losing on kills, especially with that Tinker running 3-0, and Black also going 4-1. However, on as far as towers go, that does give 1,000 gold to the entire team overall, and they do have a 3-tower advantage at this point in the game, 4 with the tier 2 on top drop down as well. So that's just a very substantial advantage when it comes to the tower game, and you can definitely see that on the gold graph specifically.
Yeah, the Die has not lost a single tower at the moment, and their towers are pretty high on HP as well, which will make their upcoming pushes a lot harder. Also, I'd like to point out that the kills have gone 4 out of the 8 to Black and 3 out of the 8 to Tinker, which is an amazing split of kills. The heroes that need the kills are just getting the farm.
Absolutely. So that's going to be shifting there, farming into high gear. Actually, Black opting for that Ethereal Blade after the... I could name off all these stat items, but just a lot. He has very high agility and overall stat build. Now he's going to be opting for that Ethereal Blade. So not a rush per se, but definitely setting himself up to do a very large amount of damage with that shotgun, especially once he ranks up that Adaptive Strike to rank 4.
And a Roshan attempt. So easy with Syllabear.
Yeah, it doesn't even take up half the bear's health, and overall it just provides so much damage there. So he does have...
Just so easy.
Yeah. And now they are...
And that will be successful.
Yeah, they have the Replicant going through, but that'll get burned out really quickly, and now they're going to drop it down, and the Aegis goes to Queen of Pain. Fog picking that up. Not too worried about Aoi 2000. Has a lot of tank ability with that bear ultimate, rank 2, and they're going to be smoking up to see what they can do aggressively, perhaps on Black, whose Replicant just expired, so he's just aggressively away from him. That's the biggest mistake he can possibly make. Not even going to be able to drop down Sneaking, I don't believe, because he's just getting dropped down way too hard, too much coming out. Even Fog popping his ultimate just to make sure that's a clean kill with no casualties at all. And come with me, where he was in there too. He actually got vacuumed in. I didn't realize that did he boost travels in, or was he there the whole time?
I actually wasn't paying attention to that. I was just paying attention to how Black made one of the worst mistakes of this game.
Yeah, I think what it was come with me teleporting with Boots of Travel, and Black seeing that as an opportunity to go on the Dark Seer with that waveform, but throwing it all away. An easy 2 kills for Bottom right there.
It was an amazing rotation after killing Roshan to smoke, and go behind the Darkseer. I'd imagine that was a intentional bait from the Darkseer, because that was amazing backup from Bottom, and getting the 2 biggest farmers on the Mouzesports side at the moment. Huge kills.
Yeah, I think they definitely wanted Black, but getting a Tinker along with that is just icing on the cake right there.
Yeah, they picked up the Earthshaker as well, which will set back his not only wards, but also the Blink Dagger, which is a necessity item for Earthshaker.
Absolutely. When he's transitioning to mid-game, those Echo Slams are going to be so much more important, and overall, if he's not going to be able to blink on top of it, it's pretty much going to be a sheer amazing... It has to be kind of an amazing Fisher telekinesis combo in order to keep them in range for that. Now, actually, is that Mirana's ultimate getting popped off? I'm not exactly sure if there's a reason for that, other than Morphling scouting it out, possibly trying to see some opportunity. But Sneaking doesn't have any detection, but just knows where everybody's at, and does a really nice vacuum. But they do not have the follow-up on it for the duration of the Mirana ultimate. Now, they actually do have, is that all 5 on bottom? No, 4 on bottom. Fog in middle lane, but Sing Sing gets a mini shackle on him, but he does do a nice Echo Slam coming at him. What Black's going to finish that up. Going a lot of rocket damage coming in. Vacuum actually going to be sent right back by Rubik. Now the Adaptive Strike does come out, picking off on the Lone Druid. Now he has a double kill. Darkseer drops down, and Bamboo is going to be looking for a kill there. He does have a lot of mobility with that Yasha. The Shackle does go wide, and that Phase Boot's going to give him enough to get in range, but he has 3 seconds left on his wind run. He does, and just going to get dropped down too much by the magic damage coming out from long range. So overall, yeah.
That must have been miscommunication, because Fogged wasn't even there for the push.
Not at all, no. He thought that they were just kind of pressuring it down bottom, not really going for all in on that. And then, really, once that Mirana ulti came out, I thought it was a little bit over-aggressive, but that had the backup they needed. Starting off with the Earthshaker Fisher, going into Fog, doing an amazing job, not only on the telekinesis action, but also he actually stole the Darkseer's vacuum, pulled the entire enemy team right in, and just they were able to wreak havoc from there. Just really pulled them out of position, and not in the situation that they wanted to be. As durable as Lone Druid is, he still doesn't have any kind of health items, and so his ultimate can only do so much for him.
Yeah, Rubik is such a wild card in these fights. So much disruption. whatever ability he chooses to steal can just do so much to the enemy.
Absolutely,
The
absolutely.
vacuum is massive. The scream, the wards, the shackle shot. I mean, all of these are amazing spells to steal.
Definitely, and Sing Sing definitely the one to utilize those, if anybody at all. I mean, there's so much burst with the Fade Bolt, so much just high pressure action now with these spell steals that has been getting off. Really have made the fights, but the towers, there's really just only so much they can do. No matter how much they push them back, no matter how many kills they retaliate with. Overall, these towers just keep on dropping and dropping. Now they are pressuring on top lane. Bamboo bringing the tower down to about half health. Aoi eating an arrow, not going to be able to sustain for too long. But now the bear coming back, trying to chase her down. The phase boots combined with the leap going to be enough to get away. But now transitioning from the jungle on to come with me, a little bit over aggressive. He's looking to teleport out now, and that's not going to be enough. Now Shackle's going to be coming and definitely going to. Oh, does not latch. Wow, the smallest window overall, but still picks him off with a power shot. But at a consequence to Queen of Pain dropping down from Sing Sing, now stealing his ability, and now she has to fall back. So that is the Aegis pick off. But looking at Roshan time, there was about 6 minutes left on it. That is kind of a substantial loss for the. I mean, both the teams did lose one hero overall, but the double life fogged can do so much in a team fight, and that does get taken away from them.
Blind arrow from Marana. It'll be down for the next engagement. Oh no, because the creeps are all pushed. They're dusted, but none of their lanes are pushing. What can they do if PotM Bottom just stay to the tower?
Very true, very true. They are looking for Lone Druid. They did know that he was up there previously, but he does have that TP scroll if he so needs it. They're actually going to be looking for it. Ward behind it. Creeps can't see him. Smoke is negating that factor and hopefully allowing them to. But Iowa 2000 just ports out to the middle lane, and now they can't do anything but possibly push the top. Come with me. Oh, not a good spot. The Shackle does go wide, though. Tides of Time does not pick that up. The March Machines comes out, and now he needs to fall back. But overall, they're not aggressing on him. They don't know where the enemy team is, especially with that smoke, and they're just going to say, okay, well, we have to come with me, farm this creep wave. Not really an option to go overly aggressive and just throw our lives away. Necronomicon 2 picked up on Queen of Pain, so she's going to be looking at not only some vision against Marana's ultimate, but also the benefit overall of just the aura and all the utility that Necronomicon provides.
Yeah, definitely. Another thing with this Necronomicon to take into account is if the Earthshaker gets a timely blink, which is not looking good at the moment, this will just add extra damage to his ultimate. Earthshaker is such an amazing defender, so I can't say really on a race against time to push, but Earthshaker is such a good defender. PotM Bottom really need to take towers while they can. Safely, that is.
Definitely. Now, Tinker definitely looking for that Force Staff. Very good item for him overall for mobility, allowing him to navigate around team fights a lot more effectively and stay at that long range where he's not at a threat for his life constantly and able to just kind of snipe away with his abilities. Now, with that in mind, he might be able to actually provide a Force Staff for the Earthshaker, kind of do a pseudo blink initiation, bringing him in for a Echo Slam on an attempt at a push. But like you said, that Necronomicon can provide a lot of retaliation damage in the sense that when he kills that larger minion, it's going to put a lot of damage right back in his face.
Rubik has Queen of Pain ulti at the moment. So much damage can come out from that Rubik with Fade Bolt Sonic Wave.
I'm not sure.
Amazing burst damage.
Yeah, I'm not sure if my timer's off or not, but it looks like he actually only has about 10 seconds to spend it, not even, and it's going to expire pretty shortly.
Ooh, it will expire shortly.
So it's kind of a now or never type thing, and I don't think Tides of Time is going to let him get close enough for it, unfortunately.
Bottom lane pushing for PotM Bottom while Mouzesports stay mid. Oh, but there's a TP from Come With Me. And they decide to fall back.
And he actually decided to rank up his rearm. He did pick up the soul rank to negate some of that mana cost. And overall, because that does refresh every time he rearms, enabling him to just kind of keep spamming, and now he's going to be able to teleport back to base really quick, heal up, and then jump to the fountain while the Fisher delays their push. And now he's going to go for the March Machines. Hopefully doesn't get caught out. The Vacuum looking for it, but the Force Staff comes out, keeping him in a safe position. Serpent Wards are up, but they're trying to push him back just with the sheer damage. Morphling, I'm not seeing him. Where will he? I guess he replicated back out, but he picked off the Shadow Shaman extremely effectively with that Ethereal Blade Adapt to Strike combo, running really low HP, under 1,000, and he was able to just utilize his Replicant as soon as he popped that off, shotgunning Shadow Shaman down and kind of separating everything that PB was setting up there. Echo Slam, wow, I'm missing all this fight. 1437, popping an Echo Slam, trying to bring down Aoi 2000. Needs to look for a Fisher block. Does actually do a really nice Fisher block, but he is able to run through the small gap there. And with that Shackle coming in, 1437 dropping down along with the Rubik. Just an amazing combo of that Shackle shot along with the Dark Seer and Queen of Pain follow up. Come with me trying to get out of there, but overall he popped his Force Staff, has no more mobility, just 1 or 2 more spells will bring him down. Now Black going in, dropping down the Lone Druid with that Ethereal Blade waveform, but now he has nothing to do but Strength morph up. The arrow does come out trying to drop some damage to Sneaky. Now Black's going to come turn around, and with a waveform should be able to bring him down, but the pipe does pop, dropping him down. He is slowed by the Shadow Strike, just needs a little bit more. One more auto attack's going to do it, but Bamboo does get latched up by that Shackle, and is dropping down pretty quickly, but overall pops the one and keeps on going with that aggression. Black has that waveform available and is going to use it, giving him a mega kill. And delayed, he got actually, is that 3 or 4 kills? I think 4 kills out of that overall.
What an amazing fight. That started out so well for Mouzesports, picking up the Shadow Shaman kill. That takes away a lot of the CC that can come out from PB. But then the fight continued around the neutrals. Black was a long way
Oh wow,
away.
nice arrow from Bamboo. Hits the arrow in the middle of the lane with the Starfall, going to drop him down really quickly. Really, really skilled arrow from Bamboo.
What an arrow. What an arrow. That was, anyway, as I was saying, that was a really long fight that just, in the end, Mouzesports dominated. And that was such a good outcome for them. Black getting most of the kills.
Absolutely, and he definitely utilized that kind of back and forth aspect of Morphling real quick there. Every time his waveform was off cooldown, he suddenly changed from this running away defensive strength Morphling into in your face waveforming over during huge burst damage and bring you down while you're at your weakest. And he just kind of used that versatility of Morphling back and forth there very effectively in that fight and picked up a lot of kills because of it. Wow, nice combo. Very close to it. She is Ethereal Bladed down, but it's not going to be enough. That Necronomicon providing just enough HP along with her other items.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a mistake from Black, really. He hadn't fully morphed his agility, and he didn't combo the magic damage with the Ethereal Blade. He waveformed in to get closer.
Yeah,
Took a bit of a risk there, and it did not pay off.
Definitely what you're saying there. Sing Sing does pick up the blink from the Quap. They are looking at Roshan once more. They have the wards on it and everything. There's pretty much, at this point, I can't say too much that can stop it.
No, and they're dewarding as well. Not that it matters at the moment, but...
And now, come with me, getting caught out. The arrow going wide. The Echo Slam going on to Way Too Sexy. He's going to drop down really quickly, but he's already popped his wards, already done his purpose, and now Aoi 2000 has that Aegis available, trying to track down Bamboo. The invisibility is up, but he's not going to be able to catch on top of him, and that's going to be the, I guess, the end of the engagement there. The Replicant is up in and close and personal, but overall not going to add too much to that at all. Sing Sing, actually. They did see him blink up there, but with the Queen of Pain blink, he should have the mobility to escape from that. But that Roshan, very, very key. Now Black gets shackled, does not latch to anything, and now the arrow comes through, does go wide, and now he's morphing as hard as he can, but that damage, just burst damage, needs to wait for him right now, and he actually might get out. He just needs a little bit more, but it's slow, going to be coming from the bear, and the shackle going again. Just a little bit more. Power shot goes through, but the Earthshaker Fisher, and he's actually going to live through that. Oh my gosh, has morphed up to 3100 HP maximum. But now Sing Sing, again, just jumping around with this blink, and he's picking up the DD room, but he is in a pretty crazy spot right now compared with respect to the entire team.
Black morphed every single bit of agility into strength just to survive. So he was on his last bit of hit points then. Luckily, the support from Bamboo, even though the arrow missed, he made a good he made a good distraction with himself and his Manta style. Just, you know, blocking, taking hits for him, and the Earthshaker stun just finished it off. Black got away safely. That's a huge save for Mouzesports.
Absolutely, absolutely. And just kind of shows that potential with the escape mechanism of Morphling. Even without that Replicant up, he was still able to just be that mobile. Even when he's slowed, he can waveform through. And obviously, he's sitting at 758 HP right now, but that looks going to be deceiving as he can morph that up to become this extremely potent tank, especially when he has a very large amount of agility and strength stats to play with back and forth.
Yeah, definitely. And that's also another thing, not enough CC. Imagine if they had a couple more stuns, or one more stun, perhaps.
Absolutely. In this lineup, I can't see the Shadow Shaman really picking up a long-range shackle. He only has skilled it to 1 point, and overall he just gets bursted down in almost every team fight really, really quickly off. Actually, the smoke disjoining the rockets, but I think they have an impression of what's going on based on that.
Yeah, and as you said, Shadow Shaman, pretty much food for the Morphling with the Ethereal Blade. Also, Windrunner not too high on HP. But as we see here, Smoke Gank trying to set something up. Come With Me could be a potential target.
Yeah, but he has already forced back. He has an idea of what's going on, and yeah, he's just trying to farm up a little.
There were no wards for Mouzesports to see any of that either. They were completely in the dark in their own jungle.
Yeah, I think he just keeps on force staffing back. Every time he sets up the March of the Machines, he just kind of falls back immediately after that, playing very cautiously and very good in the fact that they have no map awareness of what's going on. They just kind of have to suspect the worst, otherwise they're going to face the worst and not be prepared for it.
Yeah, a lot of wasted time there for PB, where Syllabear could have been farming, Fogged could have been farming.
Now, they still overall have the gold advantage by far in the fact that they do have a very solid tower advantage, but as the late game carries generally transition towards their better items, Mantis Style going to be coming out onto Morphling, and Tinker presumably looking for a Sheep Stick or a Blink Dagger, and that's going to give them just a lot more in their team fights, scaling more and more, and now they're going to be looking for a tier 1 tower, but do they want to trade it for this tier 2 that's down below half health? They do have Fortify, but they're not going to pop it, which means they're looking at this tier 1 and they're going to fall back to tier 3 immediately after the fact. The Earthshaker delaying it as long as possible.
Yeah. Mantis Style is a very nice pickup for an Ethereal Blade Morphling, because once you do your combo and you Mantis Style, you are no longer in ethereal form, so you can just go right back to right-clicking heroes.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, the stats are really good too. It does provide that ultimate orb and the mobility from the Yasha, but also, yeah, it's the big deal of not being disabled by your own item, providing that and dispelling that, and getting right back to powerful auto attacks. And they're trying to repel this, but the bear just tearing down the tower really quickly, along with those servant wards. They're not even going to be looking for a deny, possibly. Nope, it's going to be killed by the Shadow Shaman. They're going to be perfectly happy with the tier 3 tower, though Black was backdooring and does take down the tier 2 on bottom lane, which gives him all the more farm that he is desiring for transitioning into this late game phase.
PB have been very persistent in just using Shadow Shaman ultimate whenever it's been off cooldown, making plays with it, because the push ability you get is so safe. You can just drop the wards. The Spirit Bear gives a bit of a distraction for people to aim at, but otherwise it's safe damage to buildings.
Absolutely, absolutely. I kind of feel bad for 1437. Despite the couple tower kills, he's still really behind. I mean, 35 minutes and he's still about 600 away from a Blink Dagger. It's just so sad, but overall he's playing that supportive role very well, and despite being 0-4 and 8, he's been very good at delaying enemy pushes and overall setting up his team to stay alive, keep farming, and trying to set him up for the win here.
As soon as 1437 gets that Blink Dagger, it's going to be at least 3 times harder to push for PB, and they know this. As we were saying before, Earthshaker with a Blink Dagger, the defense is just amazing. So much damage can come out from a well-placed Echo Slam and a Creep Wave.
Now, Sneaking has had that pipe for a while, but also has the mech. One thing I want to note is that carrying those 2 items on that one hero, he does have 1500 HP, which is pretty durable overall, but if they are able to take him off really quickly with some combo action, maybe land an arrow on him or something like that, that can actually be a huge play for Mouzesports, taking off both those big items and getting rid of that Wall of Replica ultimate. If they can focus them down fast enough, that is a little bit of chink in the armor of PotM Bottom, but they are smoking up, looking for a transition to just kind of gank, take out a couple heroes, and push down those racks as soon as they can.
Looks like Mouzesports might get this top tower before the smoke can really cause any sort of damage, because the Mouzesports team are all top.
Are they looking for a backdoor? They maybe just they say, okay, we didn't find any heroes, but we got so much damage from the bear. We have Shadow Shaman's wards back up, and they're going to go for the racks, bring them down really quickly. Fortify is not available, and hey, you can get a tier 2 tower, but we get your racks any day, and their TP supporting coming from Mirana, but overall it's not going to be enough. They can just focus down a little bit more, or even that, they just took the melee racks and they can leave with that. It's dropping really low, dropping below 100 HP, but with the backdoor protection, it should be alright. So they did at least save their range racks, but at the top lane, overall, actually, those are all illusions. Mirana already having TP'd back, trying to do some damage to the tower and bring it down is deniable, and it's just a question of judgment whether or not they actually want to deny it. Actually, they need to. Yeah, they needed to. The Siege Creep was putting too much damage onto it.
What an amazing play by PotM Bottom. They made so much out of that situation. They, in the end, Mouz didn't even get that top tower. It was denied from them, and they with Syllabear, Shadow Shaman, that it destroys towers. That backdoor protection could not do anything. Also, Queen of Pain with her Necronomicon does so much damage to buildings.
Yeah, didn't think about that at all. But even the attack speed aura for the bear is amazing. But that bear just building up so much attack speed, actually going for a basher build. He's going to be maybe transitioning to an abyssal blade, but has just so much attack speed built into him with that Mjolnir, with random gloves of haste, and he'll be able to just put a lot more disable, possibly on the Morphling, which is what they need to do to lock people down.
Definitely, I'd imagine that'll be turned into a later. Abyssal Blade. Sorry, I forgot the name.
Yeah.
But Abyssal Blade, because they are very lacking in the stun department.
Oh, actually, Ward Trap almost on the bear. The Rubik actually picked up the Shadow Shaman's ward and almost caught the bear out. If he had managed that, then Aoi 2000 would be forced to put it on cooldown, which would give them an opening to take him down. Actually did manage to do that. Now the bear is back up, but 100 gold to the Earthshaker. Actually has his Blink Dagger now, has that available, and going to be looking for an ultimate as soon as he can. But right now they're just going to be falling back and trying to delay, kind of fighting their home turf, their own territory, and manage that. But Roshan will be respawning in just under 2 minutes, and that's going to be another window of opening where PotM Bottom can still stay in this game.
Another smoke attempt.
BKB actually up on Queen of Pain as well. So that can provide a lot. Honestly, almost all the damage from Mouzesports is really magic. Only Black really providing that much physical. And catching off that Replicant, bringing it down, putting so much effort into that as far as their spells. And now they're actually not going to be able to do too much. Do they have any detection for Bamboo and his action here? But all with this Marana ultimate, they're all initiating in. The Shadow Shaman dropping down really, really quickly. Now Earthshaker 1437 dropping a huge epicenter, getting a ton of nice disable. Fog popping his ultimate off. Nice vacuum coming in from Darkseer, popping the wall of Replica, and kind of just nailing the coffin on that team fight. Overall, just shoving everybody into that wall, and the only one going to make it out alive are Marana and Morphling. Overall, they're not popping buybacks just yet, but that wall of Replica was really amazing.
What an amazing recovery. That Replica from Black took so much attention from the possible kill on Come With Me. Even though he did end up dying, that Replica almost saved his life, and now the tower's down.
Yeah, and they're going to have a really good opening for Rax sneaking, just taking physical damage, absorbing all the magic, but he's trying to just finish off this melee Rax, and so just there's no money for buyback on any of the supportive heroes, so only so much Black can do, actually trying to survive at this point in time. He does have that Manta, has a lot of wand charges, but overall, they're like, hey, we get your melee Rax, and they're going to fall back. Bambo trying to pursue a little bit, maybe taking a bear. 1437 gets a Fisher, but on the wrong side, and sneaking, and Fog are looking to be fine.
Yeah, Darkseer with his Surge, Queen of Pain with her Blink, they should be just fine.
Now that those Rax kills, that's 2 melee Rax down. Actually, range Rax about to fall to the melee creeps. Unfortunate, extremely, but now all the lanes are getting pushed in very, very painfully for the Mouzesports team.
Yeah.
And Roche is up.
Yeah, and Roche is up. I mean, it's just so fortunate for PotM Bottom. The Rax down, 2 Raxes down, and Roshan. That's going to be very, very tough for Mouz to answer back with something.
Yeah,
and they don't even have wards on the area at the moment. Their map is dark.
Yeah, they've just been PotM Bottom can keeping up this pressure, and no matter how amazing your carries are, when you've got a Cheese and an Aegis on your team, definitely swings things in your favor, especially with Staking. If you can pull off another one of those amazing wall of Replica vacuums, just really changes the team fight right back over. And now some harass coming out from every direction, both sides picking back and forth. The wall, oh wow, damage coming out from Black, dropping down Sing Sing amazingly quickly. Shackle going across on 1437. He's going to drop down pretty quickly. Does not even have a chance, but the bear is actually not going to manage it. Gets surged out by Rubik. And now Fog is actually out of mana. He does have that Aegis available, but he has nothing else to do. I actually already popped his BKB. Why would you pop your BKB when you have an Aegis available? Now he does not have the BKB for his next life. However, they are winning the team fight. They are putting that pressure down. Now he is back in full mana and trying to get some pressure down. Black's going to be fine with his waveform, but I cannot say the same thing about Earthshaker. Oh, Queen of Pain misses her ultimate. The wave going wide, but just so much damage from that Scream. Now Sing Sing trying to pop something off, but not going to manage it, and Morphling's going to be the only one that makes it out alive. The Aegis did pop. The Cheese on Lone Druid is still going to be available for the next final push. And again, no, as far as buybacks go, I'm not seeing anything really available that will change it. If they had it, they would use it right now, because this is pretty much their last stand.
Yeah. Very unfortunate events for Fogged. Popping the BKB before the Aegis, missing the Sonic Wave vacuum. Oh, Black. Oh, Entangle.
Yeah, could be a lot. Wow, he's sitting so low. It's almost like he's given up. I think I lagged out there a little bit. Something really weird happened with him. He's just kind of standing there for a second there.
No, that happened for me as well.
Okay, so yeah, he just kind of stood there for a second, waveformed out, was calling good game. I guess typing that
Yeah.
it was over. They did really well overall. PotM Bottom just securing so many well-played team fights, putting pressure constantly on the towers, and there's that you can see that tower gold building up and putting just that much more pressure on their lineup. Every single time they picked up a new big item, they were pushing and pushing. And even with the amazing late game heroes of Tinker and Morphling, looking at 42 minutes in, and they just can't hold.
Yeah. PotM Bottom, when they got that first smoke backdoor racks, set up so much momentum for the rest of their game. Pretty much dictated exactly how they wanted to finish the game.
Methodically taking Rax's, Roshan's. Amazing play by PotM Bottom.
Yeah, once they put the pressure on the lanes, they really just had control of the map, and with all the carries in the world, can't really do anything if they're stuck inside their base all day.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright, stop the recording.